So, hello and welcome. This is another episode of the FightingTide PodCast. It is I, Taylor, with Anissa.
Hi.
This is Faith's sister. She's going to be joining me today.
Sister.
So we'll start off by talking about the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Jason isn't here.
No.
And that's for no particular reason other than the fact that he doesn't want to, and he's kind of a piece of shit. So
Yeah.
there's that. But we were going to have you on. We've been meaning to do it for a while. The problem is that having to have 3 schedules converge all at once is quite the daunting task.
It is difficult. And I didn't see that working, and I recently had a conversation with him talking about how he's got some other stuff going on anyway. He doesn't care if I do the podcast without him, with some other people. And I was like, what a perfect
opportunity, because I know so many creative people like Anissa and fun people to have on, and I think that it would be a good time.
Here we
are. I am going to fire in right away talking about I was at
the brewery.
Excuse me. I was trying to think the right word. I didn't want to say bar. It was a bar. I was at the brewery with some of the people that I work with, and right off the bat,
somebody that I work with is there. Shit, all the mics fucked up. Somebody that I work with is there.
And he brought his kid, a less than a year-old child.
Okay, I was gonna ask.
Which is an interesting choice. It's a brewery. It's not quite as rough around the edges as a bar.
Mm-hmm.
It's fully lit, fluorescent, very fluorescent.
Okay.
And right off the bat, I'm just like, okay, questionable choice. I respect the guy; he's a good guy, but questionable choice. And so we go through the
night or the day, afternoon,
whatever you want to call it, talking and sharing our stories, talking about work, whatever. And his kid starts throwing a fuss, like not too bad. He's a very well behaved child for the age. And so my manager, the guy that I was with, not my manager, he goes over to the person that's behind the counter, and they have like Pandora playing on some phone in the back or whatever. And he's like, I need you to do me a favor. Hannah, can you do this for me?
And she's just like, all right, what's up?
It's like, so my son's throwing a fuss, and the only thing that he will calm down to is some Posty. I need you to put on Post Malone for me right now. And she's just like, okay. And so she puts it on, and then
it's just like it was that, but it was a combination of that and like some like early
90s and 2000s hip hop,
which I'm down for, and I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, the kid calmed down, and I was like, what
a time to be alive, to where that's a thing. Isn't that great?
He knows.
It's just such a
good time.
Posties.
So that's what I wanted to fire right in with.
Did you have anything that you wanted that's been any hot topics that are burning you up right now that you want to talk about?
No, none that would be too like jarring.
Yeah, that's okay. It's not something that happens all the time. No, I totally get it. I have stories like that like all the time, because we always go across the street to the brewery that's across the street from where I work.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another one that's like the same brewery. Anyway, that's where that one happened. And I like where I work. I really do. I've been thinking about it a lot, and it's a good place to work.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it. It's just a good time. Like compared to like all the other shitty jobs that I've had. Like I used to work at Papa Murphy's. I'm gonna name drop there. And that place fucking sucked. Like the franchise that I worked for with it was like they were total pieces of shit. Like they just like did not give a fuck about anything. And there was like a weird
Game of Thrones style thing
going on.
Really feel.
I will. I could sit here and shit on Papa Murphy's for hours.
Yes.
We don't have that kind of time.
I understand.
So, it was so bad that
today I saw some guy come in with a Papa Murphy's work shirt,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, that poor bastard.
he has to
Experience the same shit that I did, and I know he does. And like I know
You guys like make eye contact. Like you both kind of have your little.
Yeah, it was just
your
like
body
he
language.
gave me the look like
Right.
like the kind of look that
I'm not trying to say that I'm too
charitable of a person, but usually if I see somebody on the side of the road and they need $1, I'll give him a couple bucks. It's like his look in his eyes was like the kind of look that you look at them and then they tell you sorry. You know what I mean? It's just
Okay,
like
right,
it's like
right,
oh fuck, like this guy's got
Aw.
it bad, and I was just like, that poor bastard. He's got to deal with that.
I feel your pain.
It's rough, man. It really is.
It is.
So you're familiar with our friend Jacob, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I was talking to him today, and I love the guy to death. I haven't talked to him in a little bit though, and he was talking about getting this job in I forget, down south somewhere. I think it was like Sacramento or Stockton or something. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. That'd be a cool opportunity for you. He's like, yeah, I'm going down. This was like a week or two ago. He's like, yeah, I'm going down to check it out. And I was like, oh, cool. Good luck and everything. And I haven't really talked to him since. I've been a busy guy. We were kind of talking about this in the car. And I talked to him today, and he's like down there now. Like he just lives there, and like he
All of a
like
sudden?
yeah, and he has the job, and he's been working, and like he's talking about having a tan. I'm like, okay, Jacob, having a tan. But like I was just like, man, that's just like it was like that.
Make him send you a picture. Jacob.
I'm going to.
We need to see your tan.
When you see
please.
this, when
Yeah.
you see this, you need to send me a
proof.
tan.
Actually, maybe I can.
Here's the thought. Maybe I can get him to send me that picture of the tan before this airs, and I can put it in post.
Yeah. Please.
That might happen.
So right here
Right.
or
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I was just like, man, good for you. Like typical like pop punk like yellow card type shit got out of this town. You know what I mean? He's there.
And like the perfect time too.
It really was like everything on fire and all that shit. That's the other thing, the other elephant in the room. Like our like town was on fire for a little bit.
Yeah, it was
It
really
was just
scary.
like yeah, it was. It was like man,
It still is really scary.
yeah, it's still very smoky and like the wind going back and forth and everything. But like I had to leave my house. I had a police officer tell me to leave my house, and I'm like, man, what a time to be alive. I never thought in a million years it would be for a fire. It would be for something much worse. But like just that it happened at all. It's just very surreal. Like one of the things that I remember most about the whole situation was showing up after work at my house and waiting all day to hear if we were gonna have to leave, and then showing up at my house, and there's been a lot of smoke, so it's been covering the sun. We live in the valley, so it's hot as fuck here all the time.
Yeah.
It was only like 90 degrees when I got home because of all the smoke and like ash cover. And we had a friend that lives a couple blocks away down one of the areas that was devastated pretty bad. Her house made it, thank God, but a lot of her neighborhood burned down. And she was like calling Faith as it was happening, and she was telling us like, "Yo, get your stuff. Like, you're not gonna have much time." So we started packing. Like right as we packed the last thing, like we went outside, and it was just like by the time we had to leave, it was like 120 degrees outside. Like it had just gotten so much hotter because it was just it was so close. And like as we were packing the last thing, some like police enforcer fucking comes ripping through our like cul-de-sac type thing at like 60 miles an hour, blaring over the loudspeaker like, "Get the fuck out!" And I'm like, I guess it's time to leave.
Yeah.
Because like I did not expect it to get like anywhere like that close to town or anything. It was just like it was surreal. And then I ended up forgetting my bank keys after, because we were all like single file like going out, and the road looked pretty clear from where we would pull off from our street onto Lake, which is like a boulevard that's like downtown in our city. And so I went back really quick, like thinking that I was gonna be able to meet back up with them, and my phone died. I went back to get the keys. They had like gone, but traffic was at like a dead stop. And like they were like miles away from me, like basically. And so my phone died, and I wasn't able to reconnect with them. And like it was like afternoon, and it had gotten dark by the time everything had like happened, and I was able to actually get to my parents' house, where we were originally gonna meet, and nobody was there. So I was like, well, fuck. Thankfully, my parents were there, but nobody that I was supposed to meet up with there was there. And so I got a phone charger from. I got a phone charger from them, and I got a phone charger from them, and then I was able to. Yeah, maybe I won't. We'll just use one. How about that?
There we go.
Let's see, this is that one. There we go. So I was able to. What was I saying? I was able to get a phone charger, and I finally got my phone back up, and there's a million texts because like I had people from like a group chat at work, and then there was also a million texts from Faith and Jason and you and my dad and like being like, who the fuck doesn't have a charger? And I'm just like, sorry me, like I'm an idiot, like I packed it with faith even though I'm driving my own car. But like it was like kind of scary, like being alone, and like the guy directing traffic was like, he wouldn't let me go the way I wanted to go, which it would have turned like an hour and a half drive into like 30 minutes, with traffic even. And it was just like, it was actually kind of scary for a little bit, like really not knowing where everybody was at, and like I'm sure it's the same for everybody else, yourself included.
Right.
But thankfully, you were kind enough to let us stay in your house and everything, and yeah, it was just like, it was crazy, and that's where we're at right now. We're at her place, because she has these like really cool lamps that are like giving us a good lighting type thing, and it's like it's top. Let me tell you what, it's top. And I don't know, like do you have anything that you want to add about like the fire and everything like that? Like what were some of your feelings?
I don't know. It started off like not really a huge deal, and then like before we knew it, like the next thing we knew, like all of a sudden it was just like right fucking there, like in our backyards and shit, and like.
You can keep talking.
Oh, okay, I don't know. It was just like, it was a very stressful week.
Yeah, it was. I just remember, so we were talking about this in the car a little bit, like what we were gonna talk about, and one of the things that I remember you saying is just like you like to go outside a lot, and you were saying that like the fire, like not only is it like devastating in like a physical like way because it's fire and the like burning shit, but like it took away like you're out, like, because you like to go outside a lot and like take pictures and that sort of thing, and it's just like there's pictures, but it's not the kind of things you want to remember.
No.
And it's just like, it's just really shitty.
Like hiking and shit.
Yeah.
Like all those trails. Like they have to rebuild the lake structures and make sure all the pathway, like all the lines that fell, they have to fix all the electricity that was out there, and like the structures that were burned, they have to rebuild them, and make sure that the beaches are safe and all that stuff. So that's the first priority, which is great. Like, that's good. I'm glad that they're like really getting on that. But then too, like, a lot of the trails and the hikes and all that kind of stuff, they're kind of putting that way on the back burner. So it's like, you don't know when it's gonna be available again.
Exactly, and
you take things for granted.
You really do, and like just even imagining like the situation that some people that like have to go through that weren't as fortunate as us in like our situation. Like we got evacuated, but like our shit's okay.
Right. Our family's still here.
Yeah.
Our homes are okay.
What, like working at a bank, like in my situation in particular, I see those insurance checks come in, and like I see what the people look like that like have to deal with that, because like it's just such a shitty time, and I've talked to people who didn't have insurance on their houses that got fucked up, and it's just like, man, I couldn't even imagine like what I would do. Like I was indifferent about the situation for my own self, just because I do have insurance on my house and everything like that, but that's not something that everybody can afford, and it's just like some people don't can't, I don't know, they can't just like write that off, you know what I mean? It's just it's like, fuck, man, there's a lot going on. But I don't know, that was like the other elephant in the room, like other than Jason not being here. That was like the other thing that we kind of have to talk about, because like, the tore through our town is a big deal, like it's state of emergency.
Right. Yeah, it was like national news.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
Just like one of the only times we're put on the map. It's just kind of funny.
For like disastrous bullshit.
Exactly.
But then a lot of really good things also came out of this experience. Like,
yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you can
go. It was just like one of the things that I did notice is that like, I saw a lot of like humanity, and I think that's something that like it was really like I don't want to say shocking, because like I don't want to sound like that much of an asshole, but like it was really good to see. It really was like just seeing like the day-to-day of how it usually is compared to when everything went down. It was like people were helping each other and like doing things.
They rolled their sleeves up and got dirty, and it was good to see that.
Yeah, exactly. Like everybody was like, I don't know. It was just like I'm not one of those people that like I really think that I'm not a huge fan of where we live. Like it's cool like geographically, but there's a lot of shit with it. But I really I felt connected to my community. I really
Right.
did, and it was really it was a touching experience for me. Like it was shitty that it had to be like something so like shitty, like I
Right.
said, but it was just yeah, it was nice in a way. There's always got to look at some kind of like silver lining, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, is there anything you want to add before we move on to a less depressing topic?
I mean, we're ending with a good note.
Yeah, it's true. It's
still,
true. Yeah,
so.
exactly. But I mean, overall, I think that I saw a lot of good things, and I think that I saw more good than bad. I didn't, other than people that drive. A lot of people were driving like assholes in a panic. But
Right.
beyond that, it was all good.
It was a tragic experience, but then also an opportunity for a lot of growth.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, like, from this experience, I realized exactly how short and fragile life is, and how things can just like change in the blink of an eye. And it's like, I now have no more room for any bullshit.
I know you get exactly. It puts things in perspective. It really does.
Yes, that's
Um,
exactly.
and yeah, I don't know. It was just good to see. Beyond that though, there is an album that just came out that I have not shut the fuck up about because I really like it. It's from a band called Trash Pope, and they're like a good band. Like I liked their first album and everything. It was produced by the singer of one of my favorite bands. But the album is called Crown Shyness, and I don't want to turn this into like a music podcast or anything like that or like whatever. But I just could not like stop I can't stop listening to it. It's really good. It hits a lot of topics that like I feel personally that I can personally relate to really well in a very like human and like real way. Like it doesn't feel contrived, like it's meant to like
It speaks.
yeah, it really does. It's one of the first albums that like really in a long time at least that has been like I felt like the music was directed towards me, and I feel like that's how good music is supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like it's supposed to make you think, and it's supposed to make you feel, and it just did that in all the right ways, and it felt like it was like somebody was experiencing the same thing that I was, and I thought that was really cool. And it's just like in all the same ways and everything like that. It was like looking in a mirror. It was really strange. But it's really good, and I started following the singer on Instagram recently, which I was showing you a little bit earlier, and like he's a pretty fucking funny guy. Like it was just it's an all around good experience just me listening to that. Like he posts like pictures of himself like on stage. Anytime he makes like a funny face, like he'll like freeze it and then just zoom the fuck in on it and like have some caption on it. Like there's one where he's making like this disgusted face, like he smelled something bad, and then the caption is just like when that stanky riff on that one song that we made plays, and it's just like him going like
Wow.
and it's so fucking funny. It's so good. Or like he'll have his hand like this in like a weird formation. He's just like, you can't handle the claw, and it's just like
No.
shit like that.
You
It's
can't.
it's like shit post but also real life. It's really good.
Yeah. How does that saying go? Is it life imitates art, or is it art imitates life?
Art imitates life.
Okay.
Because
Does that apply here?
I think
to this situation?
I think it really does. It's one of those things.
Because he's turning his own real life pictures into something
Exactly.
beautiful.
Exactly. And
Okay.
it's just like I don't know, it's just really funny. It's a similar thing. It's not quite the same thing, but it's on the same vein as like truth is stranger than fiction, because like I don't know, you can create all these things, but like it's probably happened before. It's similar in that same way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's just what I've been hung up on lately. We got some people leaving. Bye guys.
Bye. Love you.
And yeah, and it's just that's what I've been stuck on. That is what I've been stuck on listening to like every day when I go to work, every day when I come home, that kind of thing. But like, what have you been listening to lately?
Ooh, I recently really got into Washed Out, and I have listened to a few of their songs like sporadically over the years, just from, you know, all of their albums coming on like Pandora and whatnot.
Now, what is Washed Out? What kind of music is that? I'm not familiar.
Okay, Washed Out. Oh man. They're just like really psychedelic, cool, like
Just like
electronic,
chill listening to.
indie, nice, good music. You
That's
know?
cool. Yeah, just
Like Tame Impala.
okay.
Like kind of on that same vein a little bit.
I get you. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like it's not ambiance, but it also kind of is at the same time. But like
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. I can always listen to that. It's like just that chill like like good music that you
Yeah.
can just have on. You know what I mean?
They have a new album, and gosh, I think it's called Mr. Mellow. I can't remember exactly. But that's kind of like how their music is. It's like it's very loungy sounding.
Oh yeah, okay. That's a good way to put it. Like not necessarily copy house, but similar in like the same like way it's listened to.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's like and this album is only like 25 minutes long. The songs are only like a minute long each,
Yeah.
which is really sad because I really like the music on this album. It's really good, and it's like, well, God fucking damn it.
That's how it is. Like anytime there's like a really good album, it's like one of two things. It's either like less than a half an hour or it's like an hour long. And it's
Yeah.
just like fuck.
It's
Like
too much or
I
not
don't
enough.
yeah, I don't have time to listen to this,
Ah.
but I want to listen to more of like this
Right.
other thing. And it's just like just make the perfect album. Like I want you to make the perfect album for me. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like
Yes.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there.
exactly.
Make the
yeah.
perfect album.
Yeah, just
Thanks.
do it. Like obviously, like that's the easiest thing.
Right.
With what I was talking about, with the album that I was listening to, it rekindled my inspiration for wanting to make music again, which I think is like a testament to how it is. Cause like I'll write like a lyric here or there if it like comes to me in my head or whatever that like just resonates well with how I'm feeling. But like I sat down and just like listened to music and like wrote my own music for like the first time in a long time, like the other day, because it really inspired me. The fact that like like somebody else's music could have such a profound effect on me was just like like what the fuck.
That's good.
And it's cool. I don't know, because it's like it's not even the album is it's not necessarily the kind of music that I normally listen to. It's similar like enough, but it's just like it was just good. And I think that also is just like I was saying, a testament to it speaks volumes, like without saying everything.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's really cool. That's what I've been like stuck on lately. You know what I am excited for?
What?
Faith is coming home soon,
Oh.
and she has Roadrunner grill tacos.
That's right.
And,
I forgot about that. It's a good thing.
It's very good. It's a taco truck that's usually out of Cottonwood area.
Mhm.
And they come to Reading from time to time. The beauty of it is they're so unique. They have it's like the half soft, half hard. Like it's like Boys to Men. You know,
It's
it's
so
like
good.
not too hard, not too soft.
Exactly, just like that.
It's like that. That's how the shell is. But on the inside, it has Colby Jack cheese, which I'm not a huge cheese guy, but I love Colby Jack.
Mhm.
With like a layer of that inside, right? And you've had them, you know. I'm telling. This is for the audience.
They're scrumptious.
So good.
They're,
They're
so
so
good.
good.
So good.
With it has like some pico de gallo, as you do, with lettuce, right? But also some cabbage, which I'm a very big fan of. I know that's an unpopular opinion. I love cabbage. It's a good texture.
I like cabbage.
And with that, it's got some juicy ass steak. It is delicious. It's not like I'm not a big like I like my steak cooked. I don't like the inside pink very much, and they cook it the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with that on the top of it, they have feta cheese. Like I never
It's
thought that I would have
so
wanted feta cheese on a
good.
taco, but it's delicious. It's so fucking good. It's so good. I can't handle it. But I had one of those last night. It was very good. The shell was burned, which I didn't appreciate very much. But I took what I could get because it was so good. And Faith ate 3 of them herself.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I was like, shit, man.
Right on.
Like she never eats anything.
Right.
And we're getting more tonight, and I'm excited for that.
Yay.
Yeah, it's a good time. That's what I'm excited for.
Good.
And I'm so excited for it because I'm very hungry, and because I'm very hungry, I keep looking at that over there.
Oh, do you want that?
No, you can have
Wait,
it because
no,
I'm
no.
getting the tacos.
You can have that if you want it because I don't think that I do.
Are you
Y'all
being
heard
serious?
it here first.
I'm gonna eat that. I'm gonna eat it on.
All right,
Like,
cool.
you're gonna have to hold down the fort for a second.
I can do that. Can I talk about my journey to Dunsmuir?
You can talk about whatever you want.
Yay! Okay. So
About the moon and the stars in the sky.
it is Saturday, so I have the weekends off. And I decided that I wanted to go visit family who live north, about 45-ish minutes away. Because I miss them, and with the fire going on, it's really smoky here, so I wanted to get away and be able to see the sky. So I go up there. Oh, and another reason why I make the journey is because a couple months ago I had visited the area up there and went on a hike to a waterfall there, a beautiful waterfall called Moss Spray Falls. And I took my buddy David there with me, and I have this water bottle. It's a Nalgene water bottle. It glows in the dark. I bought it on my trip to the Grand Canyon last year. I love this water bottle, and I took it with me everywhere. It's been to a lot of places. It's seen a lot of things. A lot of good nature-y things.
Exactly. Whatever you want to call it. I mean, I'm not here to judge. Whatever nature-y things. That's what you want to call it. The water bottle's seen some shit. I get it.
Exactly. The water bottle's seen some shit. It's kept me hydrated, which is important. Hydrate or dihydrate. Okay. Yes. Here we are. It's 2018. We out here hydrating. Okay, folks.
A quick tangent, if I may. I have this water bottle and I'm drinking water. This is the first time I've actually had just like pure water in forever. I'm in a constant state of dehydration. I don't know about you. My skin is so fucking tight because of it, and it's not healthy. Like, it's bad. Like, I feel like I get the shakes and like I sweat, like, but I don't sweat. And then I also want to throw up all the time, and I also hate myself. So I'm just trying to change myself. That's all. Anyway, continue with your story. I just needed to share that.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you wanted to share. Okay. So I love this water bottle. I take it with me everywhere. We go to the waterfall, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm going to show you something that not a lot of people know about. And I trust you, and I know that you're going to respect the place, so I'm going to show you where it's at. And it's like a natural soda water spring. You can drink it. The water is totally clean. Wow. It runs all year round, 24/7, and it looks so magical. And I took some beautiful pictures of it today, so I'll probably email them to you or send them to you. Yeah, and then we can just kind of show a couple.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool, because there's like blackberries up there and beautiful flowers and just pretty landscapes. And the way you get there is by walking along the train tracks. So sometimes you'll have to kind of step to the side and let the trains go by. So that's pretty cool. You get to be like super up close. And growing up in that area, like the sound of trains is super like comforting to me. It doesn't bother me at all.
Nostalgia.
Yes, exactly. It makes me feel like I'm at home, like I'm safe.
I have a similar thing that's not quite as profound as that. Okay. Another quick tangent. Sometimes when I'm at work and I'm peckish, I just happened out of the blue one day. I was like, man, I'm hungry, but all I have is a gas station nearby. And I'm like, so I'll get something with protein in it. That makes sense, right? A protein bar or something, as you do. I decided to get a Tiger's Milk bar. Not realizing that that's the same bar that I would have with my mom when I was like 3, and she would go to, I remember it specifically, she would go to play racquetball at Kangaroo Courts downtown. Okay. And I would have one of those every single day afterwards, and I took a bite out of it, and I was like, it was like somebody knocked the wind out of me. I was like, oh, what the fuck? like am I 3 all of a sudden? It was so crazy. But that's the same. I imagine it's a similar feeling, but probably less jarring to you. I'm not sure.
Maybe. Yeah.
But
because how often do you run into those Tiger Milk bars? Is that what you call them?
I mean, they're at like every gas station, but I never get one because I'm just like, I just decided to get one day because I was like, oh, I remember liking these, and it was just like.
Okay. That's what I want for Christmas is one Tiger Milk bar so I can eat it and know what it tastes like.
Exactly. and then if you get jarred the same way, maybe I'll know that it wasn't nostalgia and maybe there's something in that fucking shit.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's poison.
Yeah, it's like Tiger's Milk bars like has Tiger's Balm in it or something like that. Like that's probably
it's like
what
when
it is.
you. I mean, this is bad. You know,
bad is it?
like those dishes where the octopus, you pour your like soy sauce on it,
And it, like,
and
freaks
they
out.
yes, you know, like that.
It's just the nerves, though, isn't
Right,
it?
exactly, but they're being triggered by the salt, I
Yeah.
believe, because it's like ionic.
Or something.
Right. Because did you guys know that water alone does not conduct electricity, but when you add salt to it, it becomes an ionic compound, and that conducts electricity. So when there's like a hairdryer in a bathtub on, that alone will do nothing, but because you are in there,
And you are
you have salt on your skin. Exactly. That is why we are shocked when we are in water and electricity is introduced.
So I have a question. I'm not sure how much you know about this, but you just sparked some questions within me.
Okay.
So, in the never mind, I answered my own question. I was going my question was going to be very dumb now that I think about it.
Okay.
It was going to be like, so if you were to, because my mind immediately went to 1,000 Ways to Die, as it does.
Oh.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with that show. It was on Spike a long ass time ago.
Yes, a long time
Really
ago.
dumb, really
Yes.
dumb show. But I remembered one episode where the guy, he dropped a toaster into the lake, like hooked up to something so that he could catch a bunch of fish, and he had a metal raft, but he was standing on the wood and he slipped and stepped on it and
fuck.
like fried himself.
No.
And I was just thinking about like how would that happen if there's no humans in there? I'm like, obviously humans have swam in there before, and I'm sure that there's some kind of saltiness to a fish as well, even though it's in a lake. So
yeah.
it was just a dumb question, but I was thinking about that. I was like, how does that work then?
Yeah. I mean,
But that
I'm
makes sense.
sure there's probably some salt
Yeah, I
in the
mean-
water because like water's not pure when
Yeah.
it comes out of the faucet. It
Yeah,
has
but-
minerals in it.
But but it's because of the salt that makes it electric, not because.
Right.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Exactly.
So that makes sense. That's cool. Anyway, sorry to interrupt your story about the train tracks and the waterfall. You were going somewhere. It was a special place you're going with your water bottle.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, a couple months ago, I am going to this place with my buddy David to the soda water spring, and I have my water bottle with me. So we make it to the spring, and I leave my water bottle there. But we had been hiking literally all fucking day long. We had hiked Castle Crags all the way to the top and then down. Went and had dinner, I believe. Yes. We had dinner at Yak's and then went to the falls. Maybe. I
Okay,
think
okay.
that's the right order.
You had some kind of meal involved with the hiking.
Yes.
Okay.
So then we go to the falls. We come back. But when we are leaving, I realized that I left my water bottle, but I did not want to climb back up the fucking hill.
Okay.
I'm sure you can imagine.
I mean, I would do the same thing, absolutely, like 100%. That's me. But I never would have suspected that coming from somebody who likes to hike. But I understand.
Right. I had just like
no shame.
No.
No shade or anything.
Right,
I'm
right.
just letting you know that's the same move I would have pulled.
it's like the sun was going down. I was not about to turn around and climb back up that hill
I sure as
just to
fuck
grab my
would've.
water
Yeah.
bottle. And I had thought that not a lot of people really knew about it, so I was like, it'll be safe. And David was like, are you sure you don't want to just like turn around and grab it? And I was like, nah, it'll be good. But guess what? I played myself because I went back today to check on it and it wasn't there. And I was like, motherfucker, somebody stole my fucking prized fucking Nalgene. You know what? I hope it treats you as well as it treated me, actually, okay? I hope you actually make use of that because it's useful and I'd rather it be used by someone who loves it.
I hope so too. However, you might have still been right. Not many people might have known about the waterfall. It just turns out the one other person that knew about it is a fucking thief. And they'll get what's coming to them. They're gonna be walking on those tracks, and they're gonna get what's coming to them. That's all I'm saying. Now your knowledge one, just to be clear, really quick, for my sake, this has nothing to do with you guys. This is about me right now. So deal with it. That's the green one, right?
Yes.
Okay, I like that one, and I'm sorry that it's gone.
It's okay.
Did you have the sticker on it too?
It's the glow in the dark one.
It was glow in the
So
dark.
it was green still, but it was like, that glow in the dark type green. Yeah.
Like the stars that you stick on the ceiling.
Boom.
I know the one.
Those,
Yeah,
yes.
I know the one. Okay,
And it said Grand Canyon on it. It had the Grand Canyon logo, which is beautiful, by the way.
It is. It's very beautiful.
Yes.
I've never been, but I've seen some pictures. I didn't know it was glow in the dark.
Yeah.
I know the Grand Canyon thing was really cool. I just can't get past the glow in the dark thing. If I'm being honest.
in the dark.
That's
so
so
not
cool.
only is it like pretty much a buy it for life type water bottle, I believe they're made in America, which I don't know if some of you even care about that kind of thing.
Just like not outsourcing, like guaranteed, like no sweatshop type situation.
Right.
Like, yeah.
My ex-boyfriend was all about made in America, and so that's all we ever bought. And it got annoying sometimes because it's like, okay, I just want to fucking go to the store really quick to grab this thing. I don't want to search around for hours.
I want a nice short sleeve button up from Old Navy. I'm not trying to make it like a statement. Like
exactly.
Yeah, I know. I get it though. It's important, and I can appreciate somebody having passion for that.
Right.
I just don't.
No.
I mean,
know.
I get it, and I appreciate it, and it's just I can't be bothered with it. And like,
Right.
I don't like to say that about a lot of things. That's one of those things I can't be bothered with.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm if I'm gonna get rice, it's gonna be from Jerusalem or wherever the fuck you get rice from.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but it's gonna be from there. If I get
Asia, Thailand.
yeah, somewhere in Asia, somewhere in yeah.
And I am so sorry at how fucking ignorant we sound right now.
I mean,
by the way, too.
Well, it's not an ignorance.
I will learn now though because I don't know. I'm gonna go look it up as soon as we're done
I
here.
guarantee you can get rice from many places.
Yes.
That's guaranteed. I think that is. We have a bag of rice in there. Should we grab it and figure it out right now?
Hold on, I'll be
Okay.
right
All right, she's gonna go grab that. But yeah, no, it is important to me. It's something that I find important. It's not something that it's not top of my priority. If I have the option, I will absolutely get something that's made in America because not necessarily because it's American, but just because I am more familiar with the labor laws we have here, and I know that people won't be exploited to any more extent than they already are, and that I am myself.
Okay, well it says Thai,
Okay.
but I don't know.
There's gotta be. It'll have to say product of Thailand or product. Yeah. Let's see. The mark of quality for fragrant rice from Thailand.
Okay, so it's from Thailand.
Okay. Good call. That's what you said, right?
It said originated in Thailand.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. Good call then.
Thailand.
So you do know.
Okay.
You do know. Okay.
Woo.
That's good. No, I was just saying that it's one of those things. It is an important thing. It's just not at the. It's not one of those social issues that is in the forefront of the things I'm thinking about every day, unlike some other things. You know what I mean? So, that's just the reason why if I have the option, I'll do it, but I'm not gonna specifically go out of my way.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. Speaking of social issues, I was on Pinterest as I am sometimes, because I have just been thinking about tattoos a lot lately.
Mhm.
And I got some inspiration, and I showed it to you. This thing, it's not exactly original. I looked on the internet and I couldn't find my specific way that I had it anywhere, but I got the idea from somebody else who had a very similar type thing.
Mhm.
But basically what it was that
What?
let me backtrack for 1 second.
Okay.
You have a tattoo gun, or
yeah.
you do. Okay.
I don't have ink.
You don't have the ink, but
No.
that's what I'm getting at. You have many of the components you need to perform tattoo art.
Yes.
Okay. I just need that for a base level. No experience tattooing, correct?
Absolutely none.
Okay. And
but I am learning.
exactly, and that's not to sound bad because this hasn't happened yet. We're getting there.
Right.
But the thing is that the tattoo that I had come up with when I was I just browsing Pinterest yesterday, getting inspiration, was pretty cool and it's pretty simple, and it is about a social issue that I hold near and dear to my heart. And basically, what the tattoo is it's like riot, but the O and the T, it's like vertical, and the O and the T is like the symbol for like femininity and like female, like that kind of thing. Because that's women's rights is an issue that I hold very near and dear to my heart. And I would like you to perform that tattoo on me, or I'd like to do it myself if you don't feel comfortable doing it.
We can both play around
Okay.
with a thing.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
woo.
fine. Like I'll like I don't give a fuck. Like if whatever. I think that's part of the experience
Right,
of it. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So that would be cool.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. So I was just going through because I was trying to design a couple tattoos because I have the idea of what I want for a couple of them in my head, and I was trying to just translate that on paper, which doesn't always work. But I know what I want, and so I was just trying to like get that written down. I was like, that'd be something cool to get, and it'd be pretty pretty quick and easy. So that's what I'm excited to give. So whenever you get that going, no rush or anything, but it's just like I want that for me.
All right. I think that's a good idea.
I think that'd be cool.
And then you guys, you should show them a picture of that too.
Yeah, I will.
It's really, really cool. He sent that to me this morning, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, that's awesome.
And then if you're comfortable, I didn't even think about this until just now because we're on camera. I was like, what if that was on camera too? The act itself.
Tattooing?
Yeah.
Ah,
That could be
do
fun.
that.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, let's do
So
it.
okay, cool. So we'll have that we'll put that on the back burner until you're ready.
Yes.
And then it'll be cool. I mean, it's not the dumbest thing that I've done. I let Faith brand Jason and I one time, if you recall.
I wish that I would have actually done that with you guys though.
Yeah,
I think about that often.
I'll do another one.
Okay.
I'll do a real one. Because it hurt really bad, and it hurt really bad for a long time, but it didn't hurt as bad as I had anticipated it hurting, and yeah, it was okay. It got a little infected. It's good now.
Oh fuck.
But yeah, it was good. Somebody was there that they like they're in the nursing program type thing. They were just like, oh, if you want that to go away, you should pour some cold water on it. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that because my specific purpose is for it to stay.
Chloe? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that and I was just like, I'm not gonna do that. That's exactly what I said. That's how I said it. And I was just like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna leave it.
Nah.
And it's really small. You mind taking over really quick? I'm gonna see if I can.
Not at all.
Show that ball.
Yeah. So Taylor's gonna show y'all his brand on his leg. It's it's a scar, like right. Yeah. Boop. Ooh, nice socks. I like those.
They're pretty rad.
And your shoes, where did you get those?
They're actually Old Navy shoes. They're like Chuck Taylor's, but they're not as expensive.
They're so cute. They look like little cartoon shoes. They're like little Charlie Brown. They're like little Hey Arnolds. Oh fuck! You have Gerald's shoes.
That's true. I'm like Gerald. I even
Oh
he would wear a
fuck!
shirt like
Yeah,
this.
he would. Oh fuck, bro, you so hip.
So
Hell
cool.
yeah! Wow,
up.
that's an old ass show. Oh god, I used to watch the Angry Beavers every single morning with my grandpa, my pampa as we used to call him, and he would be making us like breakfast, like cereal in the morning while we would get ready for school, and he liked that show too, and I think that's why we watched it so much, because really he wanted to watch the show, but it was a kid's cartoon, so when we were there, he loved it because then he could just say that we wanted to watch it, and that was great.
I have a similar thing. It was with SpongeBob. My parents love SpongeBob, and I was the conduit for them being socially able to watch that.
And
It's like,
did
oh,
you
he
like
wants to watch it.
Pokemon too?
My parents used to play the Pokemon card game when it first came out.
Yeah.
I have all their cards. It's actually worth a decent amount of money. Like oh,
How the
Jason.
fuck did you get
Hey,
here?
come here.
Come here.
I accidentally brought the broken cord. Look who it is, y'all. Hold on, scooch over a little bit. Yeah, I brought the broken cord. I know.
No.
They brought one. Have the rest of this burger. I'm not
Do
gonna eat
you
it.
want that? Yeah, take it. Jeez.
Jason's here.
Christ.
What do you have to say for yourself, boy?
I'm so hungry.
Me too, man. Me too. We were just talking about like cartoons and stuff, and how we were conduits for our parents to be able to watch SpongeBob, because it was really them that wanted to watch it. You know what I mean?
I mean, I only watched it because you were watching it.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. That's not even true, but whatever. Yeah, you're right. No, he liked Disney Channel, which is like not bad, but it's not great. I am not personally a fan. I'm sorry. Like there was like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, solid show.
Yeah.
All the other ones except That's So Raven,
What about Wizards of Waverly Place?
I wasn't a fan, to be honest.
Dude, I love Sleep.
No beef, but not my thing, man. I'm sorry. I'm
What was yours though? Like, what was your show growing up?
Definitely, SpongeBob was one of them.
Okay.
It depends on. It was kind of the time frame. SpongeBob was really the only constant, but let's see. As far as like the Angry Beavers, like Hey Arnold type shit, I was
Basically, you were watching everything on Cartoon Network, though.
Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon.
Oh,
Cartoon Network was
yeah.
my channel, yeah, for sure.
Where's Nathan? You guys need to do the Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
Oh so we do some pretty good.
So dead inside.
We do some
He's
pretty.
like, yeah, do it.
We.
I love it. Please.
So my other roommate and I, we do a pretty mean Ed, Ed and Eddie impression. We had a couple of good ones.
Oh.
He does Kevin really well. We can both do Sarah pretty well, but I do Ed pretty well. So just give me a second. But I want to pet the chickens, Eddie. And then so we got that going on, which is pretty good. Or like Double D. And then we have Jimmy, Sarah, which is another pretty good one. And then he can do Kevin really well. I can't do it very well, but I'll try. It's like dorks. Which, I mean, that's all I can really say. I can't actually talk like him, but he can, and it's pretty good. But that was another show that I really like. My parents hated that show. They did not like me watching it because like they thought they were dumb, and they were.
Yeah.
But it was a good time. So Jason? What actually was your show? Like what if you had to pinpoint it?
You put me on the spot.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll talk about some other things. Anyway, as far as like the Angry Beavers type shit, you just reminded me of something. I went to visit my family in LA, and this was a couple years ago. Faith and I were still dating, but it was like earlier into our relationship. And I was going down there for a concert and like to hang out and shit. And I wake up one morning and because I was going with my cousin, and she puts on Real Monsters. I don't know if you remember that show, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like why is this your go-to show? She's like, shut the fuck up. Like I'm gonna watch Real Monsters in the living room on a 70-inch flat screen TV like it was meant to be watched. And I'm just like, shut up. Like, what are you? So like there was that another good one was Rocko's Modern Life. That was another good one.
Yeah.
My parents loved that show. One more thing though. My parents really liked Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
That was their show. That was constantly on. Like I have DVDs of Ren and Stimpy like at my parents' house and that kind of shit. Especially after they when Netflix first came out, you know they would send you the DVDs, and they had a
So ancient.
yeah, and they had a DVD pirating software, so we have like 500
We
movies.
used to pirate videos for me and my dad.
Yep. We used to do that. We didn't sell them because that's a federal crime, but we used to give them
Oh,
out
my
to
fucking God.
Jason, and his dad. So get him. So we have like 6.
Oh my God, Jason.
No. So we have. Did you really?
No.
Okay. I was like, damn, smart move. Gotta get a middleman in there.
Fuck you, Larry.
We had you wanna scooch over again?
Oh, yep.
We had like 6 seasons of SpongeBob and 6 seasons of like fucking every show because that's all that was out at the time. We had every Goosebumps and like all that shit, just all on DVD DVD dash R's because there ain't nothing minus about them, as my uncle said to me one time. Because I don't know if you know the difference between DVD minus R and plus R. Nobody in the fucking world does. But he's such like he's so militant about the way about the DVDs that he uses to pirate movies. It's a DVD minus R or dash R because there ain't nothing minus about it, as he says. And I was like,
my goodness.
what the fuck? Oh man, I don't know. That's my whole take on the Angry Beavers. Man, we got through a lot of good topics. Like I'm comfortable to keep talking, but I'm also comfortable to wrap it up. How do you feel? Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. I kind of want to keep talking.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Let's keep going. I'm just like I fired in with my story about the baby thing and the work thing. I went there yesterday actually, and I was making the people that I was with laugh so fucking hard. I was just saying dumb shit. Like I was somebody that we were with, one of the ladies that's a banker there. We were talking, and she was talking about how like she wanted a good glass of water, and this kind of goes back to what we're talking about with this. And I never drink water, and I was kind of explaining that to them, and then she was just like, "What? You mean you don't like just like a good ice cold glass of water?" And I was like, water like the shit that I bathe in, and everybody just fucking died. It was a good time, and like we were being loud. It was not great for everybody else around us.
Y'all were wildin'.
Yeah, we were wildin'.
Uh-oh.
Have you ever you've watched It's Always Sunny before, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Have you seen the episode where they try to make their viral video, and they go to the gin bar?
I don't
Okay.
remember.
Anyway, basically, if I was in the city when we were having this loud of a conversation, it would have been that similar thing where somebody would have shushed me, and I wouldn't have tolerated it. Like in the show, I would have reacted the same way. You don't shush a human being; you shush an animal.
Right.
And I wouldn't have appreciated it, and that would have happened because we were being loud.
Yeah.
It was not great because like they have these like stand-up tables, like barrels, but you put your shit on it.
Uh-huh.
Thing like that. And yeah, that's where we were
Was
at.
that at
Right.
Wild Card?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right smack dab in the middle. We were in like the middle one, and
Oh,
so like
boy.
everybody had to be a part of our conversation. Nobody said anything, and nobody gave us looks, but I could tell people were listening because we were loud as fuck.
Uh-huh.
But
About a hot topic?
just about everything, like
Oh.
about the water and about that, and like among other things. The manager was telling a story about the drunkest man he's ever seen in public before,
Mm-hmm.
and he pulls up to. I'll tell the story for him. He's not here to tell it. And so he pulls up to the Arco.
Okay.
It's an Arco specifically. And in one of the parking spots, he finds an interesting vehicle. I'll just for fun, would you like to guess the type of vehicle?
An interesting vehicle?
If not, that's okay, but I guarantee you won't guess it. I just want to see how close you're going to get.
Oh my god.
Geometro.
All right, Jason says Geo Metro. Do you have any takes on this, Fernando? All right, that's going to be a no from him.
Okay. I'm never gonna guess it. What about the Thing? You know that German
Yeah.
car?
It's not that. It's not that. No,
Damn
it's not. It's not that.
Damn it.
I wish it was, but it's not.
An interesting car?
It's a interesting
it
vehicle. I did not say car.
color?
I did not say car.
Oh.
It was
Oh,
it
is it
was
a boat?
it was a tractor. It was a
Okay.
tractor pulled into a parking spot at the Arco. And the man who owned it, really quick, just to describe the tractor a little bit. It's one of those old ones, like I'm talking like old, like steering wheel vertical, like you drive it like this,
Okay.
and it's got like the shirt over the back of the seat because you know that there ain't no upholstery left in that thing.
Yeah.
And the guy goes in, just because we're playing a guessing game, would you like to guess what he got?
In the store.
It's an alcohol. I'll give you that.
Okay.
Very trashy.
Uh-oh, I'm about to piss off a bunch of people.
That's okay. Let it happen. If I am too because of what I'm about to say.
Okay.
Or everybody's gonna agree with me.
Coors?
Not Coors.
Okay.
No.
Oh, my-
Okay, those are trashy, but I'm talking like it was a Raspberry Steel Reserve. Is what I'm talking about. Like
Oh.
trashy.
Uh-oh.
like that's like Colt 45 bad. And so he gets a Raspberry Steel Reserve and goes back out, cracks it open, and drives the tractor probably not all the way home because you know that he didn't make it.
David, is that future you?
It might be.
real?
David, I didn't mean to personally attack you, but I feel like that's what happened. Man, in that same vein, I witnessed a man the other day when I was at work. I went on my break at 10 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually go to this gas station. It's a very nice couple and some other people that work there and own it. And the man in front of me was buying a blueberry Natty Light. And I'm just like,
A
where
what?
Natty Light? Are you familiar? It's trash. It's
Okay,
garbage. It's
okay.
like a party.
Garbo?
It's similar to exactly. It's Garbo.
Super Garbo.
It's not quite the same as like a Four Loko of beers, but it's similar in the frattiness, but it's like that crossed with a Colt 45. So it's not great. Nobody's winning if you're drinking that, except for
I'm
me
not
watching
familiar
it.
with any of those.
Oh man, that's good. Like
That means I haven't gotten so low.
Yeah,
so
you
close to the trash.
exactly. You haven't you know how Icarus
trash
too close.
heap.
Yeah, exactly. You know how Icarus flew too close to the sun.
Yes.
Those type of people are like opposite end. Like, they are in the void. They do not exist as far as this shit goes. I'm sorry if you feel attacked by that. Just drink anything else. And so that's how I experienced my break the other day. Is I saw that, and then I got my Tiger's Milk bar and like had a weird like
Whoa,
hypnotic.
We're back at that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It was like.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dude.
Whoa. It's like every time I have one, it's like 10 minutes of me just blacking out and then waking back up at work, like ringing somebody up or whatever. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? And that's my life basically at this point. That's what I'm going through. Is like I go to work, I get my Tiger's Milk bar, I black out, and then I go home.
And then I wake up
Yeah.
at home somehow.
Exactly.
How did I drive
Where
here?
I for some reason have my pants on my arms and my shirt on my legs. It's weird. It doesn't make sense at all.
But it's pretty comfy, so hey. there you
Exactly.
go.
I tell you what, having a shirt and putting your legs through the armholes, easiest way to use the restroom and stay warm.
Oh my god, that reminds me. Last year, I believe. Yeah, last year I think. I was at the lake with some people, and they were floating in the water, using life vests that were buckled up as if they were being worn, except that they put their legs through the armholes. So they looked like ginormous fucking diapers. But you floated in the water, and that was so cool, and I've never seen that before. And the one guy was like, yeah, I have this patented, I'm gonna get this turned into an actual thing, it's waiting. And I was like, motherfucker, that's such a fucking good idea. God fucking damn it. Like, all the fucking good ideas are always taken by somebody else. And then I saw an advertisement for it on Facebook the other day, and I was
Really?
like, he actually did it. Or
Really?
somebody did. I was like, oh my god, now people are gonna like pay money to get this thing where they can just use life vests.
Man.
And I hope they realize that. Like, don't be scammed, you fucking sheeple. Please. Thank you.
That's been Anissa's TED Talk. Now for a word from our sponsors. And scene. Man, what a good time. Like, just that whole like scenario you just laid out for me that in fact happened is wow.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you about the life jacket thing really quick, because
I have a picture of that too if y'all want to see it.
I would-
pretty atrocious.
I would like to.
Okay.
What I am concerned about is in the same vein that, like, have you ever tried to ride the pool ball when it's in the like a beach ball when it's in the pool? And you know how you always end up
it's
on the
really
underside of
hard.
it?
Yeah.
Is it the same thing? Like, do you end up like going like ass up, like out of the water and like head under, and you're just like some weird popsicle or something? Like, what's going on?
What do you mean?
Like, if you have the life jacket over your legs,
Oh,
do you go under and then your legs stay up? Is that how that goes?
No.
Really?
You float like and it keeps the water like right here. Like, it keeps you up out of the water.
My grasp on physics is not as strong as I thought it was, because I did not think that would work in my head.
I don't know what's inside of life vests, but they're pretty magical apparently.
I guess so. It's just a bunch of bubbles that don't pop, probably. I mean, that would be my guess.
Bunch of fairy bubbles.
Exactly.
Bubble wrap.
Yeah. Do you think bubble wrap would float if you wrapped yourself in it? Fernando, you did the physics class.
Oh, that's
Bubble wrap. If I wrap myself in
way
it,
too claustrophobic for me.
if I was wrapped in bubble wrap and I jumped in the water, would I float not because of my own buoyancy, but because of the bubbles?
The air bubbles.
How'd you be able to test things that?
If you use it the same way as a life jacket, like,
I love his smirk. I love it.
it's because he hates that I'm asking him this
I
question and he
know,
doesn't want to
I
laugh.
know,
That's
I
the thing.
know.
It's proving a point.
Yes, but don't quote me on it when you do it. When you sing.
I'm quoting Fernando when I die. That's gonna be on my tombstone.
Okay.
Fernando.
Yeah,
Yes.
Fernando made me do it.
Yes.
Man, I'm not gonna get
Oh.
buried.
You're not gonna get buried.
Yeah, sorry, you were gonna go with something completely different from me.
Disappeared.
No, I might not either, because marriage is a weird construct to me, but that's a whole other thing.
God, that's good.
So what were you gonna say really quick?
Fernando's name remind me of Fern, and the other day a coworker was out in the smoking area with my two office mates, and they were asking him if he smoked marijuana, and he was like, "No, I don't burn the fern." And they were like, "Okay, all right."
I guess that answers it.
Yeah.
I guess that's it.
There we go.
Good enough.
A
man.
whole marijuana. I don't burn that shit.
Is that all with that? Just really
Yeah,
quick.
just the
Before
fern, that's all.
before I change.
My story's over. Go ahead.
Okay. Before I change subject, I'm not gonna get buried.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, I will attempt to donate my body to science. I don't know if that's a feasible thing. Like I don't know if my body's something that science even wants, because I don't want it, so they can have
You
it.
can donate yourself to the body farm.
Is that where they like study like decomposition and stuff?
Yes.
I saw a video of that. That's weird. You turn into like leather,
Yeah, you turn into like.
like jerky, like man jerky.
Your face would look excited though.
It's like I could be leather. That's cool. Like somebody could like make a belt out of me. That'd be fucking awesome.
So like you just are kind of thrown into like an environment. It could be different than like the one 3 feet from you. So you could be like in some watery trench where the person next to you could be like up high in the sun, you know. So they would just
Yeah.
want to see how people decompose in certain environments, because it helps in forensics, I assume.
Yeah.
That when a body is found in a certain environment in real life, somebody can determine like where, how, or how long they've been there based off of how they look.
Yeah.
If
And
they
the type
know from the body farm, you know, like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
and the types of conditions that they experienced, like when they were like dead, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Right.
And I think that would be very interesting, and I'm totally down to do that. The only problem is that I made a promise to Fernando a long time ago,
Oh, that's
and
right.
I have to give him my bones, and it's just like that's a cool thing. Like I would love if somebody gave me their bones, but because I mean bones are cool. I could find so many uses for a pair of bones, a set of bones. Excuse me, not pair. But on the other hand, like I get that. Like when you're dead, you're dead. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
like I think that Frank said it best. Like
toss me in a trash.
yeah, toss me in the trash, fill me with cream. If when you're dead, you're dead. You know what I mean? Like it's just like whatever
That
happens, happens.
rhymed. That
Exactly.
was good.
That's my new EP coming out
was
soon.
beautiful.
Frank's Little Beauties, Mark II.
Also, by the way, guys, they're really going to do that. Like, I know someday, somehow, if Taylor does pass before Fernando, he's going to find a way to get him his bones. And that's so beautiful. Like, for real. I love you guys. I know.
I talked to a notary about it recently. That's not a lie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
Not about me actually signing the papers, but to see if that was even like a thing.
Right.
And they didn't seem too opposed to it. It's like the same thing as like having somebody else's ashes, right?
I love your reaction.
Isn't like I mean it's the same thing as like having somebody's ashes, is it not? It's like you're carrying that person. Like
they're just not all burnt up.
yeah, exactly. I would
What? Jason?
I'd like to. So, here's the thing. We have many options for what you can do with your body when you're done. You can put it in the ground, feed it back to the earth, which I can appreciate that aspect of it. I like that. You can burn it, turn yourself into a jar, which is pretty cool too. I've never understood that, but I think it's still cool. I think it's an interesting idea. And then I've seen people, they turn themselves into a diamond, because they mix themselves with like carbon or whatever, and they like compress it, turn yourself into a diamond, which I think is kind of cool too.
That is cool.
I want to know what other options there are. Like, can I like? I mean, you can freeze yourself. That's another thing.
Yeah.
You can freeze
cryogenic
yourself.
freezing.
You can do the body farm. There's like so many options. I want somebody to just put me in a vat of acid, like my body, and just have me just disappear.
See how you just go.
Yeah, and just film it for somebody else to see. Like not like dark web shit, but like for science.
Right. Bless you. Oh.
No, I had another thing I wanted to fire in with earlier that I forgot about until I just talked about that. So I have the Credit Karma app, and I have a Capital One credit card. Okay. With Capital One on their app, you have what's called CreditWise, where you can put in scenarios and like how it would affect your credit and that kind of thing. And so it tells you like when your information's been used on like like been sent out to other credit agencies, that kind of thing, so it determines like how your score is affected. However, one thing that was very concerning to me that this legitimately happened, I could pull it up on my phone right now, that I legitimately like freaked out about for a little bit. It had a notification on there, verbatim, your email was found on the dark web.
Oh.
That's a real thing that it told me on my CreditWise thing on my Capital One app, and I was very uncomfortable with that information. And it was like it said email found but your password is not compromised, which I'm very thankful for. But I'm just like, what's somebody gonna do with that information, right? Like on the dark web, it's like the Wild West out there, but like creepier. It's like the Wild West if it was a big
It's
dungeon.
Like Twilight, Wild West.
Yeah,
like
it's weird.
Sci-fi shit.
I had a friend who I don't remember how they got access to it. So being in high school, it's a interesting thing to look at. There's some fucked up shit on there, man. Really, really not good stuff.
Wait, on the dark web?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not great,
Yeah?
man. Like I saw the biggest the thing that I remember the most out of my head. I'm gonna talk about the dark web for a second. I saw this thing where they had kidnapped 3 people who were pregnant, right? And they were performing experiments on them. Not necessarily anything like mutilation, nothing like that. But what they were doing is they were injecting the babies inside of the womb or whatever with small amounts of bleach to see if they could become immune to it.
No.
And like they were like selling the information, and I was like, what the fuck? That's weird, isn't it?
That's bad.
The truth is stranger than fiction. That's like not good. I didn't like that at all. And I'm sorry you had to hear that, but it's just like, it's a hot take. I had to, like, there's some fucked up shit. There's some fucked up people out there.
Wow.
Yeah. Not great.
Wait, whatever happened to the...
I didn't follow it. I saw it on there and I was like, wow, that's enough for me. I'm good.
Yikes.
Yeah.
By the way, are you familiar with incels and all that bullshit?
Like involuntary celibates. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so fucking dumb. That's what Jason is.
Oh, stop.
I'm just kidding. Fernando pointed at him, and I thought that was funny. Those are the type of people that believe that like
Tell me what it is.
that
He's
it's
telling you right now.
I don't quite have a firm grasp on it anymore. I once knew more about it. It's like men that believe that I mean basically the women are breeders, but that they also like withhold sexual favors to like to maintain power, but they believe that like they rightfully deserve it, right?
Right.
That's the kind of the thing. And then it's like you're a celibate, like nobody wants to have sex with you, but it's involuntary. Like it's definitely not because they're giant pieces of shit. It's because the women just want to hold the power, obviously.
Ugh, yeah.
dumb.
They like, ew. They say all the ugly women need to be given to them as like sex slaves and all that bullshit because nobody else wants them, so they should just be given up for those of them that can't get dates otherwise, and it's just like ugh.
Yeah,
and
it's
there's like a
disgusting.
whole entire following, like this is a real thing. They're all over the place, and
Yeah.
it's really scary.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Ugh. So if you like hear people talking about that stuff, like
That's what that
shut
is.
them down.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Tell them to fuck off.
Right.
Which kind of goes into a lighter form of like what we were just talking about, that kind of thing. I was telling you earlier that one of my favorite things to do is to just shut down perverted old men when they're talking to the other tellers at my job, and it's really fucking funny to me.
Yes.
They always have like there's the same 3 types or same 3 things that they all say, and it's always like oh I prefer a woman teller, that kind of thing, or she's prettier, and just that sort of thing. And so any time they do that, I like act like I'm super offended, and I'm just like, I'm like really pretty too, so like you can come over and talk to me, like I'll help you out, like and they seriously like they get like really uncomfortable about it, and nobody stops me, none of the management, like because it's just so weird to like. I get that some people are stuck in their ways and they're stuck in like the time that they're in, but like you have to evolve to a certain extent to where you
Right.
understand like how these things work, and like
Right.
that's not okay, like, and it's so funny to me to see like all of their reactions with that, and they'll be like, well actually I'd like to have her help me, like because she's a woman is the thing, and I'm just like no I'll help you right here, I can do that for you, and that's what I'll say, and then they'll just be like yeah he can help you. And it's just like because I hate that shit. It drives me bonkers.
Right.
Anyway, sorry. It looks like you have a hot
Oh,
take.
I was just gonna add, like, because I work in a nursing facility, so as a female working in that type of environment with these people who are in an age group to where they are stuck in that kind of time that was more discriminatory toward women and people of color and all of that kind of stuff. We have to cover our tattoos because that's offensive to our patients, but we have to be understanding when the male patients make passes at us or objectify us, and that's not that doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
That's just enabling.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny that like because you're making a very good point. It's really funny that like that's the compromise is headed towards that direction, towards like even putting past the fact that that's just a fucking idiotic thing in general.
Right.
That it's the preference, like the beneficiary and like that type of like I don't know what you want to call it, like an agreement or whatever. Like having to work there, it's like you assuming responsibility for like those things that happen to you. It's just so ridiculous that it is to the type of people that are already like the beneficiaries of so many other things. It's just like it's a rich get richer type situation, and it's so crazy to me. I'm thankful that I live in a time where you can kind of start to see like the I don't want to say the table turning, but like you can finally start to see that like kind of movement. It's less gradual, and it's finally like we're in a very pivotal time, I think, for that specific sort of thing. And I think that's why it's important to I mean to talk about these things, because it is like these are normal things that are happening, and these are like I don't know, it's the way that things are heading, and it's like you can't be so afraid of change that like you force everybody else to become like a mannequin around you, if that makes sense. And it's so weird. I don't know. It's just like I'm fortunate that I live in this time. Like I'm sure that like years out it will be much better for people like that, but I'm glad that I get to be a part of that like pivotal moment.
Me too.
Yeah. Which I think is cool.
That'll be good.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean let's look forward to the future, right?
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I think that's pretty good.
I feel like
This was
that's a
fun.
good way to top it off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually really quick because we're on that same subject and because we're talking about this, I thought it would have been really cool, and I'm upset that I didn't have all my shit set up. I thought that it really would have been cool to do this particular episode on like International Women's Day. Wouldn't that have been cool?
Oh, right. And I have that shirt that you got me.
Exactly.
too.
Yeah.
And you have the matching one.
I
don't
do.
You?
They actually they have a white one now. The only thing is that those shirts do not fit me very well. It's
No.
it's so high up right here, and it's like
Oh.
tight in the shoulders. So anytime I lift them out, it's like this. So I'm just like I wear it, but I only wear it like with something layered over it. And it's just like it's very upsetting because I like the shirt.
That's the only thing that I grabbed when I packed my bag when we were evacuating.
Really?
Yeah.
man.
Like I had my whole stack.
What a
Love
what a
you,
good thing.
it was
Yeah.
important. You
Yeah.
know, like it was a connection to you,
Yeah.
and it was also important. So that's still in my bag. Like I haven't unpacked it yet.
It's very nice. I'm glad to hear that. That makes me feel things.
Yeah. Aw,
Thank you.
Good. Yeah.
All right. Well, on leaving on a good note, thank you again for watching the Fighting Tide podcast. I'm glad that we were able to get a guest appearance from Jason. That way, it still
Guest
remains.
appearance from the permanent co-host.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's a weird like backwards thing. It's like
how we do it.
yeah, not quite as backwards as like fucking your cousin or sister or whatever, but like woo! But it's still a little backwards. So anyway, thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank
You're more than welcome whenever you want on the show. I'll let you know when I'm doing my thing, and then you let me know when you're doing your thing. But if you enjoyed the episode, feel free to just leave a little like, a little thumbs up, boy. It's free. It's really quick. And if you have any comments, I'm sure a lot of people will. Touched on some pretty heavy topics. You can go ahead and leave one of those down below as well. In addition to that, if you like this and you think you'd like our other stuff, you can check it out for yourself. You can go ahead and give us a subscribe. Is that how you, that's not the right vernacular, is that? Go ahead and subscribe to us. And if you wanna keep up to date, I think that what the kids are saying now, there's a bell notification. Am I right to assume that, Jason? Bell notification?
Hit that shit.
Hit that
Bring
shit,
that
he says.
shit.
Bring that shit, he says.
Ring,
So
ding,
ring a ding ding dong.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
Dong.
go ahead and do that if you want to make sure you don't miss out on anything. We post on plethora of social media. Just look for Fighting Tide, anything, it'll show up. And with that, I bid you adieu. Goodbye.
Yes, goodbye. And also, if anything I said sounded offensive, that's not how I meant it to come off as. I can be a very blunt person. We were just having fun here tonight. So.
Yeah, exactly. Except about the Natty Light and Steel Reserve. You people can fuck off.